right, so getting back into it here, still with Chris Gogol, Raymond House, and Gerald Howard. We just, after the break there, we kind of talked a little bit about the trench play. So, ever since Belima got here, that's all we wanted to build was trench guys. Wanted to beat Alabama the Alabama way, right? That was pretty much what was advertised the entire time that he was kind of coming through his tenure. I don't think he has the guys that he needs.
No. And you know, because let's think about. So let's reach back into the annals of our memory when we had the largest offensive line.
Yeah.
In all of football.
Yep.
Right. And you think about some of these defensively. You think about some of these recent draft picks that we put out from out of our front seven. You know, and you saw being able to hang your hat on aggressive, physical, even if we weren't winning. We knew we would be physical, we'd be aggressive, and you're going to feel it. And we don't have that. I mean, because first half it was close, but you still saw some holes in the trench play offensively. Second half, it looked like on both sides of the ball there were some fallacies and deficiencies in how we were playing in the trenches. We were not winning that. We were not winning that scrum. We were not winning that line of scrimmage. You know, it's almost like we're waiting back on our heels to see what happens. And as opposed to taking the fight to the other team, right? We cannot impose our will on other teams right now, and everything that we're trying to do is predicated on having the type of players to be right. So yeah, we want to be a power in football. You need a powerful offensive line that can move the line of scrimmage to be able to do that. We want to be able to play multiple. We want to be able to play zone and be conservative in our coverage, but you need 3 or 4 guys in the front that cannot be blocked one-on-one,
right, on
a consistent basis.
Well, they have to take up two.
We're calling that. They have to demand a double team.
Yeah,
you got to have 3 guys to be able to do it.
Right.
Got to demand a double team because at some given point, if 2 guys demand a double team, there's automatically a one-on-one somewhere.
Yeah,
right.
And so. But we don't have, and we consistently call and employ a strategy that we're not really able to execute or don't have the guys. Because bottom line is, when you have issues, there's 2 things you can change. You can either change who's doing it, or you change what you're asking them to do.
Speaking of that, did you see what Matt Jones said?
Nah. What was the comment?
I love my Hogs. I will always bleed Razorback red. This is not it. I hate it for all the Hog fans. Coach B is not the answer. Nope. Unacceptable. It is not working. 5 years below 500%. Nope.
Yeah.
Deuces.
It's kind of funny you say that because
this was on his Twitter.
Yeah, up until this point, it kind of had been, hey, just the average fan was the one that was disdained, but those that
you haven't had the big ones come out and say.
It's kind of funny you say that. Is that I got a message that was referred back to me, kind of along, Madre Hill, kind of one of names that are very familiar around those halls, had pretty much along the lines of the same commentary that there needs to be a change. And I've heard some rumblings and rumors of when they started flying those banners toward the end of Houston Nuts era, that you're probably going to see something along those lines coming up here too. And that's
as much as I won't change I don't want to see that though.
No, because there's nothing good that comes because
it just gets nasty then at that point. I mean, you're just going to have Mustaine and all that crap again, where it's just everybody against the administration. It gets ugly.
And think about this: even if you want him gone, who's going to want to come into a situation like that?
That's exactly.
Who wants to be a part of?
And
hey,
athletes.
boy, you don't.
They already know.
On the recruiting trail,
how hard is it already to win here? Doing that kind of stuff makes it that much worse.
And that's just that's where you talk. I mean, we can talk X's and O's all day. We can talk about how they need to start doing this and they need to start doing that.
Okay, let me ask you this:
so,
are you ready for Belima to go?
Golly, it's. I want him to be successful because I've seen the way he disciplines. I've seen the way he interacts with the players. Everything else except for the wins and losses, I really like what he's doing. I want him to. I think he knows he has to win more games in order for this to work the way he wants to. But I'm at the point now where I don't know if he can be successful doing the things the way he wants to do them. He has to be almost like another coach. He has to be almost somebody else, and I don't know if he can do that. You know, I mean, I want him to be successful because you know, having talked to him, shook his hand, and interact with him, and see how and seeing how the players are with him, it's tough. But it's just I'd like to see the program have more wins and losses. I don't know if you can do. If he, I don't know if he can do that. I mean, that was always the thought.
Doing it the way that he wants.
Doing the way
to do
he
it.
wants it to be.
I'm
done.
gonna play devil's advocate here. Just throw something out there. So he's doing it the right way off the field, but does he need? Because some of these more successful programs, your Alabamas, your Georgias,
I know where you're going.
Your Florida. Do we have too many choir boys? Do we need a little bit of trouble?
Do we need some edge? Right?
Yeah,
edge. We don't need any trouble.
Edge is the safe way. Edge, exactly.
Yeah. Do we need a little bit? Edge? I mean, because here's the thing.
But see, I thought Coach Nutt went through this same phase after we left. They had those 2 years. We had a bunch of trouble. Not a bunch of trouble. We had guys, and then he had 2 years. They were a little bit more quiet. I guess it would have been Matt Jones's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 years, then he got it back on track with McFadden and those guys, right?
Yeah.
But even McFadden made the news.
Yeah.
Getting in a fight.
There was some edge.
Right. There was some edge there. But he had those 2 years where it was a little quiet. But the winds went down.
Bring that wood, right?
Again. But
bring that
wood.
Let me bring it back to what I said, kind of to answer your question. You either have to change the type of player you're bringing in, or you change what you're asking them to do. Right? So it's got to be, does he have to bring in a bunch of troublemakers and try to straighten them out? I mean, I won't say that. But it's got to be something. You've got to bring a different type of player in if you're going to continue to call plays both sides of the ball the way you want to call it. And so if you keep these same kind of guys, you have to change what you're calling for. I mean, because it's really, what else can you do?
Is that, in previous shows, the cost, we're not a win-at-all-cost program.
Yeah.
Is that win at some cost?
And because I would say that therein lies that I think the trouble, I think some of the flack that, you know, the 80 Jeff Long is going to get because you come out and make statements like that, and that gives people the perception, because we kind of talk about this on air earlier in the week on radio, is that oh, well, you must not care about winning at all then if you make statements like that.
I hate that thought.
Right. But it's not a bad thought, though. It's not a bad thought to say not to win at all costs, but there is some thought that you got to do something.
Well, you got to show them.
Winning is still important.
Right. But I don't think Jeff Long is discounting winning right now.
I totally agree. But we're talking about leaning into perception.
Okay, so let me rewind this, 10 months ago?
Okay.
Mike Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted him gone, right?
They did.
Because he wasn't winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of, I mean, I would say he's been a little bit more successful than Belima, just going to Kentucky, winning, et cetera.
Correct.
Going to the tournament with Portis and all that. Like, I would say he's been more successful than Belima at this point. Because they came in about the same time, correct?
I mean, just look at record alone. I mean, that kind of stays. Now, basketball is a little different. You play a lot more. You play a lot more games. There's a lot more disparity and a lot more opportunities to mess up or make people feel good.
And correct yourself.
Back.
Right. Well, football, I mean, I think we're there now. I think we're at the point where everybody's saying, I mean, you got Matt Jones, Arkansas legend, basically saying, all right, done with it. Do you think now the tone extremely shifts? I know you said the casual fan has been, all right, get him out, get somebody else in here. And how bad do you think this is going to get on Sunday? Because there's no way you're going into Alabama and beating Alabama. You're about to get drubbed. Bad. Yeah. Because that defensive line is nasty.
I think his measure is as close as we were to A&M, and everybody would honestly say A&M had no business. Did you think A&M would beat Alabama? No,
I didn't think they were even going to be in the ballpark.
When you pull up the box score, you're like, whoa,
it was there,
pretty close.
Yeah, something happened. Was that game plan?
Yeah.
Is that do they have that many more athletes than we do? We can't have a 70-6 or
I just hate that the gap between South Carolina and where you're at is now is as big as it was.
Well, and here's the thing: we talk about so the stats are misleading, right? So
obviously,
21 of those points was without their offense on the field, right? And clearly to mistakes and lack of focus, and it just there's certain things, bad pass here, and it just so many because it could have easily been 28. Could have easily been 28 points. Right. That they could score on defense. So I think that's misleading. So I don't know if the gap is as huge as it feels when you look at the score, but there is a gap, and you don't feel like it's trending to closing. It feels like it's widening as we move along.
Yeah,
and it's just it's a real. But let's be for real. Winning football games is a hard thing to do. It's not something that's just easy,
especially in the era that you're in currently.
Yeah, it's not,
But he needs to win more of them.
Yeah,
I can't argue
to
that.
the point. I need more win. I mean, because this is shaping up to be like a losing record, and if we end this year on a losing record, and then we look at the overall record being losing as well too. You kind of it's hard to be in Belima's corner in situations.
Yeah,
in
it's
a case
very
like that.
Very difficult, especially being as big. I know that I'm a huge Belima supporter, and I
am too.
Yeah,
I am too.
And it's hard. It's becoming hard for me to swallow that. I'm like, just hang on, just hang on.
But what do you you need to give folks something to hang on to.
The
business case to support him is very weak right now.
It's weak. It's extremely
very weak,
right and we're aware of that. Before we get out of here, the one thing that I want to get to, I just kind of want to rant about something real quick. Please, for the love of God, don't be calling for Cole Kelly to be the starting quarterback right now. This is why I say it. Austin Allen, as much as I love him, he's getting destroyed out there. He lost 50% of his receiving